What is up, YouTube, and welcome back to another episode of the Universim Season 4 full release. Just coming in, the first time I've seen these Hadron Colliders. Desperately need them for this now. It runs out of water too quick if I don't. So, don't know why it needs the steel beams, but yeah, steel and chemicals, and it chucks out water into your water reservoir of your choice. 2.5 each, and I'm using 5, so building one, I thought it would slow it down. It does use quite a lot of resources, so you've got to be careful. And they do not work through winter. So they shut down the same as everything else shuts down. So you don't get a net negative, it just stays the same. But you also can't get a net positive. So based on the vote at the time of this recording, the winning planet for us to go to next is the Crystal. It's also joint with Destroy All. Now, obviously, destroying all is possible, but not possible at the same time. I mean, destroying all the planets, there's infinite, apparently, so that would take a while. So what I'm going to do is I am going to get the ship loaded up. We are going to set off to the Crystal planet per the choice you guys made, but also I'm going to use Ode Mini-Me to destroy some planets and see what resources we can get. Now, if you look at the bottom where my resources are, chemicals, computer chips, steel are a thorn in my side. They're a pain in the arse. They are the bane of my existence. All three sayings there for you. And we need more. Now, I can increase certain things to make them, but to be honest, that is what the Planet Cracker Mini-Me is for. So let's go and visit some planets we don't want or need and see if we can steal some of them resources from it. That's what it's for, so why not? We have to, of course, wait for that to be stocked up now. So we will jump over to the almighty Planet Cracker. So there we go. We are going to send the Planet Cracker to Andromeda first, which was the closest planet to us. Not sure about what its resources are like or what it is like as a planet, but you will see it's actually probably the prettiest planet in the game, or at least it certainly is the prettiest and pinkest one so far I've seen. However, we are going to destroy it, and destroy it we shall. I am not planning on going to that one because we do have the Crystal followed by either the Poison or the Heart, but there is also a planet called the Lost City, and I'm not sure whether that actually has a city on it or not either, so that would be worth a go. Also, I'm destroying the planets that are close to me because the idea of the exploration is you build an observatory on a planet that's far out, and then you do your searches around it. So just going to all these close planets is not actually helping our explanation at all. So after that long loading screen for me, but not for you, welcome to Andromeda. Very pink, very pretty, and very pointy ice cone looking mountains, I guess. Not sure if any of them are for lakes or volcanoes, etc. But nevertheless, we are not here to build a civilization. We are not here to colonize. We are here to steal chemicals, computer chips, or steel. So you get your little cursor there. You have to click on the bell icon in the left-hand side to do that. But get this: you land the Planet Cracker down. You can then use the button again to open the UI to show you what is available on said planet. Some good resources there. 8,000 oil. Obviously, you get a lot of resources if you just go for the singular. But for now, the bug is the best for us, giving us, I believe it's chemicals. Yes, chemicals and computer chips. So that is what we're going to go for. So upon selecting it, it randomly walks off in a direction. I'm not sure if the direction is set or it just does a bit of walking as some cinematics or not. I'm not entirely sure. Also, where you land on the island, I'm not sure that matters either. But either way, it walks to where it needs to do, and then it does its business. Quite close on this one, actually, but you can see ripping the planet to pieces, destroying all of that beautiful scenery. No oxygen, we don't care, we're not there. And you can see that bar there draining the planet, counting down, and 163 resources were collected. There is sort of a ice cream, sort of, I don't know, moon as well, which looks quite cool. But then this planet is really up shit creek without a paddle, and it's not going to last any longer, so we need to get off it. So we will send the planet cracker back home to unload them resources, and we'll fly back ourselves. Upon arriving back, there is still the timer. It's a minute either way. I'm not sure if it's longer for further away. We'll have to see if that's the thing when we move forward. I don't believe so, though. It's just a minute timer to wait for the planet cracker to land. As soon as he lands, you then have to tell him to unload. Then resources were placed in the bottom, and then they can be used for this planet or sent to other planets. Of course, you can land him at other planets as well. But for now, my main infrastructure is the first planet, Planet Alpha. So that is the one I'm going to use. Meanwhile, I'll destroy more of these buildings that can no longer extract resources, which is give even more reason that the planet cracker is vital, because the resources don't replenish, so we're going to have to get them from elsewhere, and obviously destroying planets that you're not going to go to is definitely the best option for that. So there you can see, it does do a little thing. It looks like it takes a while, but actually you'll see them instantly in the bottom there. So plenty of glass, plenty of fuel, plenty of steel and chemicals from that, and as soon as it finishes doing that sort of animation unload, we can then of course send him out again, which we will do because that's what you said, destroy all planets. There was some warning showing for the moon, so we're going to just jump over to the moon now to see what's going on over here. Not terrible, the moon, because it's not got no silly high or silly low levels, is reasonably comfortable to sort of keep stable as long as you've got nuggets doing the tasks that they need to do. Water's easy enough to get on here because of the rain spell. Yes, words. Rain spell. And then trees when you've got spare creator points. Now my creator points, you can see, are over 900. It's insane actually how quick I can get creator points now. I'm not sure if it's taking all the planets together at once or if it's just something else. You'll see a bit later actually, if you use the meteor spell, because it puts you in the scary god standard, you actually gain so many points for releasing one. It's insane. We'll see. We'll do some damage with them later. Bit of infrastructure out there for actually getting the unobtainium if I acquire it. I'm going to get some, I think, but I'm not sure what to do with them or where to send them. Again, I'd like to do just one planet with 5 nuggets and then just the nuggetoids. Yeah, I put a bridge in. I wasn't expecting it to get built, to be honest, but somehow it did. So, and then other things aren't being built, so that's my own stupid fault. But we'll get around to it. The mayor is in here, or the minister, should I say, in the governing body with the town hall. That's all working, so we should be good there as well. Okay, so in the time we were doing that and destroying planets, I was actually also waiting for the rocket to be ready, and it looks like it should be ready any second. And this rocket, of course, is going to the crystal planet, per the vote. Likely I'm going to get another vote on just to decide whether we go to poison or the hot planet next. After that, it'll be pretty much the opposite, and then we're good. Also want to try the lost planet. Lost civilization as well. So you can see the rocket's just popped out there, so we are ready to go. But I need to get rid of this infected corpse first, and then we'll get that launched and over to the crystal planet. And welcome to Planet X, Crystal Planet. We need a name, so you guys put a name in the comments and I'll rename it as well. Obviously Kelvin was the request from one of you guys that was fantastic for the cold planet, so it is indeed now called Kelvin. So we've got Planet Alpha, Kelvin and the moon. The crystal planet needs a name. I'll leave that with you. Now, a bit disappointed that it's just all frosted over. I was hoping for a lot of colourful crystally type. I don't know. I don't know what I was expecting, but I was expecting more than another frozen planet. But I'm not worried. We know that we can do this. So the first thing I'm going to do is get the infrastructure in place as before. That is landing the rocket and then getting all of the buildings that we sent with it. Achievement there for colonising 5 planets. There is a lot of pollution on this planet as well. It could be worse, but there is some nevertheless. Remember, any pollution is curable with your cure spell as long as it's on the land. If it's in the water, you have to use your trickle rain spell to get rid of that. But yeah, we're going to get all of these buildings put down, all of them apart from the hydro collider, because I do not need that. It's too expensive to run, and I'd rather just use the rain spells. Plus, we're not short of water on this planet at all. It's just frozen. So instead, what I'm going to do is get all of the everything down apart from that, because you have to bring that because it's part of the quote-unquote rules for launching a rocket. But then I'll actually get the terraformer down as the priority building and set it as a priority as well. As soon as that's down, we'll make sure we've got fuel over here. And it requires chemicals and fuel. And then leave that to start doing its thing. Remember, each one is plus or minus 6 degrees per month. So the quicker we get that in, the quicker this planet can be stabilized, and the quicker we can move on to something either warm or polluted. Nothing much to say, really. I would like just to ask for you guys that are playing along or played this ahead of me, or however you like, any information you've got on all the other planets, or if there's any other ones that we've still not yet uncovered, would be great to hear your thoughts on. The Lost Civilization planet, I don't know if it will be, but I'm hoping it will have some sort of old buildings from the human times, as we've now learned by the end credits. You can see that is a lot of pollution coming directly into our city, but it was at that point that I realised that actually Rejuvenate should fix that, and it does. So anything on the land you can fix with Rejuvenate, and anything in the water you can fix with Trickle. Okay, so as I said, just jumped ahead a little bit while they do their bits and bobs, and here is the terraformer required. So we'll get that on. I'm putting it near the coast because what I have realised is it seems to, once it gets to the lake, it actually unfreezes the lake and gives you a head start on getting water. Of course, the seasons still affect you, and the winter will likely still, will definitely freeze over. But it's just a bonus that you gain from putting it close to the water. Now, I did make the mistake of the water thing. I probably should have put that down last, so I could have put it next to it, but it doesn't matter. So looking at the stats at the bottom, you just saw me doing there. I'm just looking for what I actually need. So putting your cursor over the items, it does show you what you need versus what you've got. And then I can go on here and figure out what that is and get it sent. Everything's coming from Alpha City, or is now, I have renamed it because it was annoying me, so it's now Planet Alpha. So everything should come from Planet Alpha for the foreseeable. I'm not entirely convinced that Kelvin or the Moon will actually have the infrastructure to create these resources, and especially now we've got the Planet Cracker delivering them to Planet Alpha too. So just getting that stuff delivered over, including the fuel, chemicals, etc. that we required for it, because we need to get that terraformer up and running, and then we need to make sure it stays running. Also, you'll notice I can actually send more resources now. So previously, where I mentioned it's up to 40 kilos from the 4 ships, we do actually have one built on Kelvin, the planet. So once, for every single spaceport you build on a planet, you gain an additional 4 ships, which is 40 kilos. So we can now ship 80 kilos at once. And as soon as we've got this up and running, we get one on here, it will then be 120 kilos, etc., etc. So even more reason to try and get those built. But first, terraformer and fueling the terraformer. That is priority number 1 on any hot or cold planet, I would say. Just before we leave to destroy somewhere else, I am going to use the trickle spout on here. And again, just to recap, you'll see that the filtered water is a lot faster when using your rain trickle spout. But also it fills it up as well. And what I've done is I've just spammed, I think I've spent every creator point there, just to make sure that it gets filled up on both, because that's the only water source we have. And with it being a cold planet, we're not going to get it from anywhere other than rain, or well, snow technically, at this time. So over to the Planet Cracker again, and this time we're going to destroy another planet, and I'm going to destroy the volcano planet, the hot planet, because it wasn't voted for, so we'll find a new one. And I want to try out as well, because it's a lava planet, but it says huge, so it's a huge planet with above average resources. I want to know how much of a difference the planet size and the resource count actually has. So that's what we're going to go for. I'm not touching that one because it's far out there, and I want the 4 planets to stay, but these closer ones I'm not too worried about. So yeah, we're going to go for that and see what sort of resources we get when we destroy it. Luckily, we also get to see it before we destroy it, because we have to land on it. And that's terrifying. Yeah, I don't imagine much would grow on this, right? That's the hot planet. I feel like it's going to be the hardest one. I could be wrong. We'll have to wait and see. But for now, what we're going to do is get the planet cracker down here. Here it comes. And then select the resources. And holy crap. 63,000 iron. 53,000 stone. 72,000 gas. 2,000 chemicals and 2,000... Yeah, so it's quite... This is significant. Very, very significant. I'm going to go chemicals and electronics, I think, again. Just to make sure we've got a good stock up of that. And then I can start just being an annoyance on the steel after that. The process is the same, so I'll likely just speed this up a little bit. Nothing changes, it's just the same. However, this planet takes a lot longer to drain because it is a lot bigger. And of course, as soon as that's over, you come back. So we need to... I'm just destroying a couple of buildings that have run out of resources as well, getting them salvaged, while waiting for the planet craft to come back. And as you can see, that is 0 seconds, so he should have landed right about now. Just got to find him. Luckily, he's easy to find because he's like... Well, he's almost in space, just sat on the landing pad. And there he comes down, bouncing away. Clicking on there and clicking unload. And the mighty amount of resources. There you are. 1,900 chemicals and 2,105 circuits. That is fantastic. We can get some of them sent to any moon or planet we wish. These harvesters, I couldn't seem to destroy them. And I don't need them because obviously they came with that building that I destroyed, but they stayed. So I thought, I know what I'll do. I'll use telekinesis, pick them up. It's only 15 creator points to pick all 3 of them up when I get there. And then we'll go and chuck them down a mountain. So I don't have to look at them. Very dirty, but I don't imagine we're going to get to this part of the world anyway. No need to, so there we go. Nice and clean. Or at least our area is nice and clean, not so much over there. And then we had the only exile left on the planet demanding more resources. And at this point, I actually decided that I'm a bit sick of being demanded. I've been nice all game. I can now just destroy a planet with a click of a button. So, actually, Mr. whatever your name is, no. Now, this city has definitely changed from beta where they stayed in circles. They do build a lot better. But no, what I'm going to do is... And watch the creator points here. Carefully watch the creator points. Because as soon as you've launched your first 3 or 4 meteors, you then become the bad guy. And then launching meteors actually gives you creator points. So you can see, I launch meteors, they land and give me a crap ton of creator points. There you go. So I just kept doing it. Why not? So with 900 creator points, dropping 3 meteor showers allowed me to continuously drop meteor showers until the entire city, civilization, exiles, however you want to call them, were destroyed. Then just zooming in on the last building remaining, showed that there was only 1 exile left, because of course if you leave 1, they can and do rebuild. And with that 1 obviously inside that building, I destroyed the building, and whatever your name is no more. RIP. And back over at the ice planet, just making sure that we're good to go. The terraformer, of course, is ready, so we'll get that fueled. Well, sorry, we'll get that stocked up with the staff. It had a couple of resources in it, so it is running. As you can see, it's glowing. I'm assuming it goes blue if it's on a hot planet. I'm not sure yet, but it certainly looks like it's hot. And we'll leave that to do its thing. Again, 1 is 6 degrees per month. I could go for 2. I'm just not sure whether I could be bothered to get the resources over. This will work. It will just take a certain amount of time. All we then need to do is make sure that the pollution is down, but it's minimal already. And that's easily done with trickle spells anyway in the waterways. Using the points I've got to get some trees down, because we are lacking trees severely. We know water's not a problem for this planet, it's just the trees. So growing trees, bringing the temperature up and making sure the pollution is gone, and then the planet, crystal planet, will be defeated also. Remember to give me a name, by the way. Any suggestions, whichever's the highest voted or thumbs up, will likely get picked. But we are at time now, so thank you very much for watching. If you like the video, please click like. Any comments are welcome as always. Subscribe for more. Join us on Discord for more chats and spoilers. Again, thank you. Take care. Goodbye.